Hey everybody, this is Dan DeMajor over at DATRON Dynamics. I'm here with Ed Kramer, one of our newest customers. Ed is the founder of EFK3 Ventures. Is that correct?
LLC.
LLC. Yep. And he's up here for training over the course of these 2 days, and we just wanted to take some time to talk to Ed. Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you, Dan.
Good to have you here. So if you could, just tell us a little bit about EFK3, what you're going to be doing, what are your plans for the Neo now that
I started off kind of with small hobby machines, doing hobby stuff, and over the last couple of years, I've actually had the opportunity to grow into some commercial prototyping work for third parties. And I have some product ideas of my own that basically it's time for me to get a little bit more capable machine. So that's kind of what drove me to start looking at DATRON Neo.
Nice. So your current arsenal of machines, you've got Shapeoko 3.
Yep, Bantam tools, a couple of Bantam tools, PCB mills, yep, and a couple of Pocket NC 5-axis machines.
Yep. So about 5 machines total?
Yep.
So what was the deciding factor in, there's a lot of machines in between desktop mills and a DATRON Neo. What sort of drove you in the direction of a Neo versus something like a Haas CM1 or a Tormach?
Yeah, there's two big things. So one is most of my work is small parts, high RPM, small tools. So RPM, max spindle RPM was a big factor in what kind of machine I would get. The other issue is I'm doing this in a very small space. Going to initially have the machine set up in my garage, so I had to worry about overall footprint,
the neighbors,
exactly, and quiet, and basically the noise level. The other thing is it took me a while, but as I was doing some research, I really liked the idea of not having to deal with like traditional machine coolant.
Yep. So
the alternative and the DATRON features with ethanol is perfect for me. I focus mostly on non-ferrous metals and Delrin engineering plastics, brass, aluminum. The other thing is I do some 5-axis work, but over like the last 18 months, most of my jobs are really indexed 4-axis. So it was important to be able to get a machine that could go at least have a rotary 4th axis, yep, which the Neo checked that box perfectly.
Yep. And I think you had mentioned too that the Haas CM1 you could get a 4th axis or maybe even a 5-axis for, but it was really too small, not too small, but it took up the whole work envelope.
Yeah, basically, and it was. I don't think it was. Looking at how the two the rotary axis go on and off the machine, it was a much more practical setup on the Neo to be able to just take the 4th off when I need full access to the 3-axis table. Yeah. So the probably the most important factor for me was basically the machining volume versus the overall footprint of the machine. So both those machines are actually pretty good in 3-axis configuration. The Neo is still a little bigger. But with the rotary on there, I still have plenty of room. And actually, there's enough room to run rotary stuff on the left side and some small 3-axis stuff, vice work on the right if I want to do that on the Neo. So that looked like a very flexible setup for me.
Nice.
Suits my my work style. So.
Good. And if you could, if you can think way back to 2 or 3 years ago when you first heard of DATRON, how did you hear about us? What's
really
that story like?
Through Instagram. So I saw some. I've always kind of been a fan of manufacturing and machining in general, and I saw some crazy machining going on in aluminum. Didn't know anything about the company or the machine, and that kind of got me looking. And then actually, there was a DATRON partner in Germany kind of reached out to me and was asking me about what I do in my shop and kind of showed me a little bit more about DATRON machines. Marvin, you probably.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hi, Marv.
And then, I met you and online, and you told me about the DATRON single flute tooling for aluminum, that was new to me. So I didn't know, single flute was any good for anything other than plastic. And it turns out even on the small hobby machines I was using, it made a big difference.
Yeah.
So, so that kind of got me interested in the brand and looking at the machines.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest is history, so they say.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Again, Ed Kramer, if you're on Instagram, follow him, eKramer3. and then soon to come, possibly YouTube channel.
2020.
Some more footage for your viewing pleasure. But
Some Neo Series 2 machining action.
that's right. Very good. Take care, everyone.
Thanks.